So, Peter and Andrei Stamatin are both executed on day 7, right? Day 8's still empty. Day 7. When all the shit goes down, that's the patients. Is the court stuff? Main projects. Where the fuck is it? It is a nightmare trying to parse these screens sometimes. Me choosing not to run away. Survived the day. The Inquisition's justice. He has been found guilty of the design. Yeah, so he destroyed the blueprints. There it is. Now go to day 7. This is getting, oh my god. It's getting expensive. Okay, so time travel's fucking costly. Which is what I originally thought. But it feels like it got worse after I thought it was maybe not as bad. Whew. He has been found guilty. Reset that part. Everything else I believe we're leaving the same way. So now we're back on day 7 looking to fix what happened. Whoa. Oh yeah, I guess the day did start here. Because we're immediately arrested, so we have to start the day here functionally. Trippy. Why is it 10:40? What determines what time it is when I'm here? That's weird, right? I remember specifically pointing out that we were having this whole trial at 10 o'clock. Now it's 10:40? When the time is frozen? Just frequently not totally sure what's going on with that stuff. The accused, Peter Stamatin, designer of the polyhedron, accused of assault on reality by way of impossible artifact creation, which puts the population at risk through its sheer impossibility. Looks like there's an assault on possibility. Didn't know about the trial, he's drunk. I took the blueprints. I accidentally got through some of the new dialogue, whoops. He's telling the truth. I took the blueprints. You? What a weasel you are, Dankovsky. No wonder they gave you this crooked Inquisitor's part to play. So I think the last line of dialogue was him saying, like, I don't know where the blueprints are, someone took them, which is different from the story where he says he burned them. Careful, Stamatin. Insulting the Inquisition is a serious offense. Let's be honest, Peter. You were going to burn them. I saved them from you. Give me those blueprints. Let's see. Well. One glance is enough to see why the accused is trying to hide them. The polyhedron is only designed to support a small load. How many children does it currently hold? 300? That's why it's creaking. And I'm sure when I study the plans further, an abyss of further transgressions will open at my feet. So what happens to Stamatin now? You're the Inquisitor. You decide. In the case of a guilty verdict, what punishment would he face? I'm not sure yet. I need to make a deeper study of the blueprints. The polyhedron is stable for now, which means the crime has yet to be committed. If you ask me, it's a slow-motion offense being committed before our very eyes. There's so much interpretation here that he doesn't really feel like anything resembling justice. There's no standards for punishment or even what a crime is. Interpretation and a whim. Don't punish him then. I don't need your pity, Dankovsky. Keep it to yourself. Have it your way, Inquisitor. Be mad at me for the rest of your life, Peter. At least you'll have that life. Go to hell, Dankovsky. Always a doctor. All that matters is saving a life. No thought to what happens to that life after you release it from your care. Consider it settling up my debts to your brother. Yeah, bro, y'all are both gonna die. You specifically request that did you want your brother to die too? Because I know that was the outcome at least. Worth checking in to see if there's more dialogue with them today. While we're here.
Can't surpass the limit, but one can tend to it. So says mathematics.
My voices are definitely wandering because it's hard to keep them all straight with so many different characters, let alone how many gruff men there are. Thank you for your cooperation with the Inquisition, Dankovsky. So, is this line of duty to your liking? Blah blah blah, thing about cooperation with the thing. There we go. Just had to go back and recreate my steps through the conversation. Okay, I've saved everybody. And these two have moved slightly? What does that mean? Specifically, I remember coming and going in the past, and they were still both to the left, I thought. Alright, so there should be no one at the gallows today. Significant change from before. That's one of the mirrors that I should have remembered.
Once Dankovsky, now 1,000 fragments of Dankovsky.
I'm gonna suddenly have reason to break the ones I find now, and maybe regret a few of the ones that I've broken already. I definitely wasted a couple, but I've largely avoided and ignored all the mirrors in the game for a while now because I'm like, nah, it's just not a system I need to interact with. Yet. Now it's fucking half empty. Just like that. It's stressing me out, man. The polyhedron's blueprints were enough for Kaminsky, for now at least. What's that thought? Day 3. Oh, shows up all the way here. Peter Stamatin's not an easy man to find. I mean, I stopped looking for him because I reached my goal. Now the question is it worth visiting the Stamatin bar now that they're not going to be executed? Am I in the wrong spot? No, it's like over on my left. Because we're seemingly done with the day, so it should be time to move on to day 8 since I solved that, but I just don't know if there's more interaction with them now that they're alive, and that might be a key to doing some sort of multi-day quest. It's hard to know for sure. There's a clock here, so I can leave pretty easily. I hope they're both here so I can at least tell what's up. It's another one of the ones I keep forgetting to loot. Artemy's here. None of the figures here seem to be him. I wonder if you can put anything in the furnace to do something furnace-y with it? Or is it just a container for storage? And if that's the case, is there ever actually anything in it? Be a little bit weird of a place to find things in. Fuck. It was here, right? I remember zigzagging through here. So this is where I admit I struggle to remember where the fuck this guy lives. I think it's over here. What's on there? Oh, it's the guy that protests the anti-vaxxer. They're putting anti-vax
vibrant
stuff up.
Everything's so
vibrant. Graffiti. Sorry, I'm multitasking, trying to look around. I keep track of my task of trying to see if I can find what I would like to find with the glass, while simultaneously trying to voice dumb thought that comes to mind.
Every creak like a gunshot.
See, this is the street he lives on, right? Yeah, there's his bin of alcohol. Oh, it's open. It's open, but is he in here? No. Another opportunity to steal from him. This is too many goddamn matches to be fair. Very lumpy bed. He scribbles everywhere. He always does seem to be struggling, yeah. Substance abuse, scribbling on all the surfaces, obsessions. I think the floor might be tilted in this room. It looks uneven. Yeah. So the floor in his room has a slant, which really makes it really sort of nauseating to walk around in here. This whole, it's a crazy space. Neat. Ah, yeah, his walls painted white. So he painted some of his walls white so he could then write on them with charcoal. Which definitely looks fucking cool. Even though it seems to be the same schematic image over and over again. That's just the art they had to work with. How's about we spend our resources and skip to tomorrow? Apparently Stamatin's not around. I talked about using... I talked about using what was on hand. Using the clock that was there to skip past. But then the brother wasn't there, so I want to check his home to see if I could meet him there. But he wasn't there either. Womp womp.
As if things are animated.
And now I'm back out in the wild. Bye. Well, how full is my inventory? I can almost certainly just throw in an entire stack of matches. That's just out of hand. The struggle is that I just don't know what's coming. What is the future entailing? What edge cases and concerns should I be planning for? And the answer is, if I come back here, I don't know why. It'll be a surprise. I can't plan for what might send me back here. Here's one of these guys.
It's more honest now.
It's more honest now. Damn. So deep, Dankovsky. But at the very least, I'd like to scramble resources in a way where I don't end up with more than 12 things and then throw them away. I'm so sorry, viewers, in advance and also in current, just how much this playthrough is going to be spent trying to work around the fact that the developers gave you a 15-slot inventory, more if you count your quick slots, and a 12-slot clock. And you don't get to, and the game doesn't prompt you to on which stuff to throw away, so you have to like carefully rebalance your inventory every single time you time loop, which honestly is a lot of busy work for a weird abstract mechanic that doesn't have a concrete premise for how it even exists in the universe and so on. Not a lot to trade for. I'm trying to prioritize things that at least will be added to my existing stacks, but damn. It's the best I could do, and I still have a butterfly and a beetle to trade. Womp womp. Sometimes trading for bullets condenses my stacks, even though I almost never use bullets. But in this case, I don't have a bullet out yet, so there isn't a stack to add to. It is really goofy, but I prioritize trying to trade for resources I just have any of already, because at least those ones will combine. Because the goal really is just to like blindly condense my inventory to having slightly fewer slots, just so I get to actually keep them during the time transition instead of losing them. I don't get what the motivation was for making the inventories slightly different sizes in that way. Let's go ahead and just go home, and I'll probably be able to trade with the two drug people, as is often a decent solution. And then we'll get to finally check out tomorrow, and by tomorrow I mean the transition conversations in the future about tomorrow. That's usually how that plays out. This guy's just chock full of strychnine. These not stack? Only 2 each. That's rough for my purposes. Belladonna for 16. That'll have to do for tonight. Alright. At least a somewhat reasonable oh my god, is this... Okay, no, it's just inspectable. The table's quite exquisite. Fine woodwork. Wish I had time to read. I'll get one of these in the Capitol. This is a pretty normal looking table. It's like, wow, that's exquisite. I better get one of those back in the Capitol. I'm like, what? Okay, sir. Whatever.
The town drills.
Alright, so Stamatin has been saved. He'll be alive tomorrow. Whether he wants to or not. Please don't obliterate. Oh my god, my meter. I'm actually getting a little worried. What? Day 8, which the Bachelor falsely considers good. What? What? Oh. Why would you tell me that?
A hero is someone who dies for others. You are no hero. You're small fish.
What is wrong with you, Dankovsky? An inquiry is usually about clarifying details. The extraneous is trimmed away in the process, and my files grow thinner. But with you, it's the opposite. Your past is forever branching and multiplying. Why? Because you aren't actually trimming away the extraneous. You're just blocking all my attempts to defend myself. You've heard of Occam's razor, haven't you? You shouldn't multiply entities beyond necessity. The simplest explanation is always the most correct. No? The truth resists simplicity. Oh no. People love clean narratives and easy arguments because then they don't have to deal with any level of moral ambiguity or complexity or the basics of how science works. What an incredibly horrible, dangerous thought. Jesus Christ. If nature strove for simplicity, not complexity, you and I would be amoebas right now. That is precisely what I'm talking about. That is why the transcripts of our conversations are so wordy. You are incapable of concise thought. You drown in details and constantly get carried away by some other events. Have you forgotten that brevity is the soul of wit? Have you ever heard of the phrase thought-terminating cliché? Jesus Christ. Why do you ask me questions if you're not willing to accept the answers? You are impossibly stubborn, Bachelor, but as you wish. Let's get back to your testimony. Where were we? The 8th day of your inglorious odyssey. An important one, was it not? I'd go so far as to call it a turning point, since that was the day another looming threat emerged in town. You call every day a turning point. You're repeating yourself. Look up a synonym. The arrival of the Inquisitor had everyone spooked, as far as I understand. The long-standing balance of power in the town was shattered. I still can't understand why Karminski singled you out like that. He must have seen you were failing. Well, why are you singling me out, or the powers that be? Take a look. Here's what my files say. On the 8th day, Bachelor Dankovsky abandoned all of his medical duties. He took a stroll beneath the polyhedron, wandered through the atrium, and examined some drawings on the walls. What is this? You decided to take a day off? What happened with the polyhedron that day matters, because it began to change. There you go again. I've grown quite tired of explaining to a doctor that what matters is people. People changed too. What is going to happen on the day 8? I don't remember anything happening to the polyhedron specifically. Once again, an empty day. Got 6 days down, 6 days to go. Oh my god, we're only halfway through the days. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then all the way back here. We haven't done day 1 yet. Long playthrough, especially given any number of time travel things could be introduced where we spend time revisiting days. Be weird if it didn't, given that's like the premise of the thing. Hello, mirror.
Don't lie.
Concentrate. Yeah, it's the one that supposedly will bail me out at some point, so I'll hold on to that for a while. Hello! Lethargy, hiccups, ichthyosis present. Test subject day 2. Resembles hepatitis. Taking a sample to clarify the diagnosis. How did the cow get up? Like, how'd the bull get up the stairs? You're gonna have trouble getting around. Just feels like a comically bad idea to have a sick bull in my house the whole time. But I'm immune, I guess. Buy a bull, sell a bull. Why did I even take this bull? Nothing but trouble from it. A bull hurricane swept through the command table. All decrees in shreds. And the secretary vanished somewhere. What? Wait, what? What? Wait, I can't access the decree page anymore? I guess it's a good thing that I've issued decrees in the past, I guess. Unless they broke forever and are gone. It technically says that the entire town died 2 days ago, even though that's not how that works, because we're alive now. Huh. Georgie is waiting for me to tell me a bit more about his great brother. Routine. Second day of bull observation. Analysis required again. Did the sand plague survive? That's unrelated from this other additional note that the bull is destroying my shit. Oh, the tarp isn't on here anymore to more clearly show that there's stuff to take out of here. Oopsie. Nothing in the clock. There shouldn't be. A farewell note. Farewell, Daniil Dankovsky. I am going to the cathedral and do not expect to return to emergency command. I believe you understand the reasons that have driven me to this action, and I ask you not to try to stop me. I am grateful to you for the time I served under your command. Your secretary, Heron. He only worked for me for like 5 days. Damn. So he quit in like 5 days. Is the implication that he's joining the Inquisition, or that it was summoned by the Inquisition? Or both, I guess. A note from Anna Angel. Daniil Dankovsky, I am compelled to write to you because no one else in this town cares about anything. I know for certain that one of the houses in the crude sprawl has become a breeding ground for the plague, where filthy scum and other diseased vermin huddle together. I am talking about one of the wooden houses. Your orderlies and patrolmen are taking no action whatsoever. I demand that you take action personally. I beg you. Your inaction may cost us too dearly. Yes, do not look for me. I have already told you everything I know. Sincerely yours, Anna Angel. It's just one of the houses. You think you'd at least specify which house in your note where you're supposed to tell me everything you know? Okay, so this is the starting point for the day. 2 plague districts and 1 violent district. That's extremely chill by the standards of what we've seen so far. It's never this good. My poor brain.
Library.
There is no death.
Do you enjoy it? People doing what you say? Seems like a messy comment. I can say yes, something works properly here. When I issue a decree, it's carried out quickly, and I'm like, my decree table just got obliterated and the guy that works for me ran away. So that's a weird thing for me to say today. I put my signature under another decree and the streets change. Not always for the better, though. You probably don't even think about how many unseen eyes are fixed on you. They catch every word you say, follow your every gesture. It was the same for Simon. This is a profoundly patriarchal town. Even grown people seem to look for authority to cling to instead of thinking for themselves. It isn't malice. In small towns, society is like a flock of birds. Going against the crowd is hard, so people search for a wake they can slip into. It's a shame I only know the myth of Simon, not the man himself. Yes, pity. I'm sure you imagine someone very different from who he was. Then what was he like? His mind was quick. He'd sift 100 ideas before he'd finished wrestling with one. He understood any opponent with ease. And in debate, he defeated them from the inside, so to speak. No one could keep up with him, even when he grew old. Hearing you describe him, I start to feel your loss. A little bit of amalgam, that's a treat.
Simon taught me how to read. I particularly loved that book about a heart. I forgot the name.
I don't think I've been able to talk to her twice before. I know that look. You always glance a little sideways when you're in doubt. I found a note this morning. Anna Angel writes about an infected house in the crude sprawl. And what's wrong with that? The town is riddled with infected houses. Why would she suddenly concern herself with this one specifically? Anna is a wild spirit. She wrote to me as well just the other day. She wrote to you too. About what, if I may ask? Believe it or not, she demanded to get children off the streets so they'd never play in the yards again. I don't understand. What do you have to do with the children in the streets? I don't either. Like I said, wild spirit. An artistic one. How do I put it? Sometimes an idea takes hold of Anna, and she throws herself into living it out with her. And she throws herself into living it out with all her wildness. Wild or not, I cannot ignore an infected house. This may be important. If you're unsure, just don't go inside alone. You have patrolmen assigned to your emergency command. Take at least a couple of them with you, for your own sake. You're right, I should send a few patrolmen to watch my back. Oh, 5 patrol. Oh, that was actually a choice. That's interesting. Dialogue like that is almost never actually a choice that does anything. It's just like you thinking idly out loud, and then you can completely contradict it 5 seconds later.
I just knew you'd come.
Wait, I haven't warned you about the mess yet. There's such chaos in Stillwater today. Also, I have 3 consecutive conversations with you? That's wild. I don't think I have the option to talk to her again normally, let alone 2 more times. What are you talking about? Bacchio was agitated all night, and when he's agitated, he chews. So he chewed up your papers with the emergency command decrees. I hope it tasted good. Someone should be happy about the situation. I went to check on him this morning, and it was already too late. I hope he doesn't get sick from all that ink and paper. Everyone will get sick because of the eaten paper. Those were decrees. Decrees. Oh. That's not a problem, is it? You issued those decrees, signed them, read them every day. You probably know them by heart at this point. I might remember some things, but definitely not all of it. It's a whole system with complex interrelationships. Don't fuss so much. I don't know anything about bureaucracy, but there must be a solution. Yes, you're right. That solution has a name. Heron. With his good memory and meticulousness. He'll make up for the losses in one evening. By the way, where is he? Haven't I told you yet? When I saw the mangled papers, I was so scared that Heron would be angry at the bull. But he's still not here, even though he usually shows up before dawn. Anyways, the children who play in the garden saw Karminski's men take your secretary away early this morning. This is very strange. It seems to me that Karminsky was quite satisfied with the work of the committee, and now suddenly he's taken my secretary. I don't know. All I know is that Heron's things are gone too. He kept his personal writing supplies here. Gifts from Big Vlad? I guess they made him feel more at ease at work. I hope Heron can still be rescued from the Inquisitor's clutches. They made it sound like he was leaving on purpose in his note, but now it's being... Okay, now she's out of dialogue. But now it's being framed like she... Analyze this. That's being framed like he was kidnapped. Slowly, compared to its progression in a human, the Sand Plague is damaging the bull's immune system. Looks like the first external symptoms will appear tomorrow. Don't really have a reason to be immediately working on exchanging my stuff necessarily. I can just live with it. Oh, someone's here. The cathedral caretaker. Not happy about what's happening? They took the place from yours. They took the place from yours, wow. Greetings, Daniel. Welcome to the still water. Another creation of the architect who was named Farkad after his death. What do you mean welcome? I've been living here for days now. It's never too late to welcome a guest. Wait a minute, you're my guest here, and you're talking like I'm yours. This is making my head spin. That's just lack of practice. Oh, Caretaker. How could you leave the cathedral unattended? People will barge in there now, carrying earth, singing borrowed songs. Disaster has struck the cathedral. The Inquisition is stomping on its ways with their iron heels. Inquisitor Karminsky has broken the cathedral's will and exiled all wonders from it. All the dead and all the living, myself included. What do you mean, broken the cathedral's will? Can buildings even have a will of their own? It's humans who can lack will. A building always has one. How do you think they managed to stand and not crumble? How are they holding up? Rigid body physics, I suppose. This is why I've come to you, Daniel. My own body is in dire need of a roof over its head after my exile from the cathedral. Are you asking for a place to spend the night or a place to stay? Please, I'm not asking for much. All I need is your permission, Daniil. Please let me stay in the still water. Put a roof over my head. It's Eva you should be asking, not me. She's in charge here. To settle down in a new place, one needs to get permission from all of its inhabitants, including the Creator. Such are the rules. How are you going to ask for the Creator's permission? Farkad's been lying in the ground. Long been lying in the ground. Lying. Reclining. Farkad believed the man's will is capable of outliving his body and continue in something that is a product of that will. Well, I hope that the will of the Stillwater is not going to find your lodging here objectionable. Weird. So he thinks he needs the architect's permission, and he acts like that's a universal rule, which, like, that implies that everyone who ever lives anywhere somehow has contact with the architect? Could be a bit of a challenge there. Yep. Patrolman reduction is there. I am not used to seeing that kind of system denoted here. That is very different from how the resource management is listed elsewhere. Huh. Maybe it's going to start happening more. That could get chaotic.